Hello, this is Jeff Hughes and this is my Assignment 9 Dreadhalls The Tumble Update. There's 3 requirements for this particular project. The first one is to spawn some holes in the floor of the maze, and then when the player falls, the second one was when the player falls through those holes, transition to a game over screen, and the final one was to add a text label to the play screen that keeps track of the maze you're in, so the number of times you've been in, that you've managed to go through the maze. So the first thing I had to do was obviously alter the level generator class, so we would spawn some holes. So as you can see from line 25 to 28, this is me initializing some variables, and effectively the point being here is that I needed a coordinate system. This is where I've gone. As you can see here, there's a coordinate class, which essentially is being used. Further down here, from line 49 onwards, this is where I'm essentially creating our holes in the floor. I'm using the coordinate system to ensure that, as you can see here, that there is no holes underneath a wall, because if you just simply insert them in, there's the possibility they're going to be under there, as you can see at line 57 there. So I'm using that to ensure they are created. Okay, the next requirement was basically what happens if you fall through those holes. So here created despawn on height, and basically I'm using the main camera, which is assigned to the the FPS controller, and essentially using that I'm detecting here, as you can see at line 22, if it falls below 100, i.e. the Y it goes below 100, then you've obviously fallen down. That will then have the effect of restarting the level. As you can see here, current level at line 25, the current level equals 0, so completely redoes that. It destroys the whispering sound source, because that is actually on a loop that continually goes. So, and finally, to actually transition over to the game over scene. When we've done that, we basically have a trigger point, which is this load on game over here. And as you can see, once you're actually in the game over scene, if you press the return key, it will then change the scene to the title scene. The next thing that was actually required was the actual from the requirement was to add a text label to the play scene. Now to do that, I have created this level text, which essentially just takes a static variable that I've already created, and which is called level number. And basically, I'm displaying that to the screen. There it is indeed. And just very finally, on grab pickups, I had to make sure to increment the number of times that we've been in that level, and that's done there at line 17. Okay, very briefly now we're in Unity, and I'm showing you the actual scene I've created called Game Over, and as you can see here we have the press enter text, and just here on the right hand side a game on over text. This is what I was referring to earlier. That's where it's actually triggered. Everything else is just the same. The only other thing that we were required to do at this point was actual within play level. As you can see, scene. As you can see here from the canvas, I've inserted the level, and in the level text itself, just down here, there's a script, and that's the script that records the actual length. So hopefully that's all clear, and here's the game. Okay, and now a demonstration of the game in play. So I'm just going to literally start the game. As you can hear, there's the sound effects. So the music, press enter, game starts. So in this example, I want to basically show 2 things. Obviously you can see the top left hand side, we've currently got a level of 0. So I'm going to very quickly, hopefully, there we go. So I'm going to get the token. As you can see, we've gone to level 1, and that was one of the requirements for the game. I'm now going to end the game, hopefully just by falling down one of the spawn holes. There's one. And if you now watch, we'll see what happens for the scene, as well as the change of scene plus the sound effects. See, we're falling, and as you can hear, that's the end. As the game level finished, the whispering has stopped. So if I press the return key, it goes straight back to the beginning of the game. Hopefully that should be enough. Thank you very much.